Alrighty then, let's go ahead and see if the changes I've made mean that I don't have to manually enter the stream information. I hope so. If not, there may not be a great deal I can do about it, to be honest with you. It's looking promising though. I think we have liftoff. Just taking away and re-entering the Steam key may have been the only thing I needed to do. I think. Yes, indeed it is. Hello, Rambia. I'll wait for a few more people to filter in, first and foremost. Because I'm sure everyone will let me know whether or not they can actually see. Hello, Joseph. Just out of curiosity for anyone who's here already, did you see part 5 and the relevant thumbnail show up for the live stream? Because if you did, that means that it has been successful and all I needed to do was re-enter the stream key. Hello there, Mediocre, and Cole and Gaz. Alright, good. That is excellent. I don't understand why I needed to do that after just a UI update, but no matter. Anyway, we shall enter the game where we left off previously as Lothlorien. We'll give a bit of time, because I did say that I was going to start at 3, but I figured I may as well start a little bit early to give people a little bit of time to filter in. But it also gives us a little bit of time to consider the situation. And I have been thinking as well, obviously this is a continuation of the Lothlorien campaign. This is the 5th part, Just Deep. But yes, having given a little bit of consideration to what we're going to be doing, I think we're going to be obviously fighting Isengard a little bit more now, because we have arrived on the front line to bail out Rohan just in time, because Edoras was under pretty constant assault. How many factions are in Divide and Conquer? I don't know the exact number, but there's a fair few. There's 3 elven factions, there's I think 4 fully orcish factions, there's a few evil men, there's quite a few of the western kingdoms of men as well, there's 3 dwarven factions. Hello, Anad. Silmarillion scenario not going on Apollo's channel. They read it and got better. Yeah, I know. J Monster said that I can actually do. I can do the version that we saw. I think the reason that he wanted to redo it was because Sauron instantly died when he went into the river. I think, which is obviously not what you want to see. That wasn't really the point, considering that Sauron is sort of this new entity in the game, and the fact that he died as soon as he entered water because of a bug is maybe not what people want to see the first time they see him in action. But yeah, I should be doing that one actually, the one that we did. So at least I hope that's going to be the case. The next battle replay will be over the weekend. I think Saturday or Sunday, I think, is the next Reforged battle replay. Regardless, it was Arwen, not a... Well, I mean, you could always spin it that way, I suppose, yeah. But regardless, here we stand. Now, a few things to sort of consider before we get rolling. Now we're sort of part way through turn 47 really. Want to be getting down here as quickly as possible to Rockburg before Rohan try and take it for themselves, because obviously I do want eventually to recruit Ents from this region, which is obviously very, very desirable. Just last part we did fight with Rumil here to sort of get rid of a small Isengard host. There's a couple more Isengard armies here as well. But I've been toying with the idea of actually taking this region of Gainard and just keeping it for myself for a little while, because it is a province which stretches all through the Gap of Rohan and would allow me to essentially act as a bit of a shield for Rohan to give them a bit of breathing space. We don't need to be over here anymore, so I think we actually can move our spy to act as a sort of mobile watchtower, I think. Hello, Jaden. Hello, Air. I think I'm not on hardest. Well, to be honest with you, the battle difficulty on hardest doesn't really change an awful lot. All it does is change morale, and to be honest, that's not a huge not a huge difference. Like, Medieval 2's difficulty settings, I think, make the least amount of difference in all of the Total Wars I've played, I think. The campaign map difficulty is a different matter, obviously, because that has an impact on your economy, which is probably the harder bit of the game. And hello, Owen. But Helm's Deep has been reached. You have reached Helm's Deep, a large valley in the northwest of the White Mountains, which encloses the most important fortress of Rohan, the Hornburg. Originally, the valley was home to a small Gondorian regiment, but after Calanardon became Rohan, it became an encampment of the Rohirrim, where the guards of the fords of Isen lived. Well, unfortunately, it's no longer in the hands of the Rohirrim. Isengard took it very early in this campaign, which is perhaps why Rohan have fared as poorly as they have. But there are fairly consistent armies coming this way. Will you do more campaigns after this one? Yes, I intend to, just deep. And hello, Giancarlo. Hold on a minute, I'm just going to go and close the window, otherwise some of the DIY sounds from outside might filter their way in. And hello, Welt. What do you think about Lorien and Reforged? Any stuff you would add? It's hard to say that about like sort of different stuff between Lorien here and Lorien and Reforged. Lorien and Reforged, I think, are a little bit more heavy duty. They're a little bit more heavily armoured overall, which is just a design choice. Whereas here, a lot of the Lorien units I've been using have definitely been slightly lower on the old armour front. We are at the lower tier still, though. The only thing I don't like about the campaign is the AI. Unfortunate how it tends to work, but you make it fun anyway. Well, yeah, but like this is, it's still an old game at its base. Like, there's only so much that mods are going to be able to accomplish ultimately. That's 3 Rohan units, and that is, ooh, that's a large Isengard army actually. What about this one? That's a smaller Isengard force with actually some Dunland units in there, so that might be interesting to try and fight, but I think they're in reinforcement range of one another, so I think if we fight one, we fight both. That's an interesting little conundrum. We could try and go after Gurkrog here, who is a general, but I mean, that's a decent sized force. It will be, we will have some Rohirrim allies to come to our aid, I suppose. They shouldn't have heavy armour, they already have the best archers. Mirkwood should be better melee than them. Well, in Divide and Conquer, I know that really the difference between the two is Lorien are a little bit more solid and defensive, Mirkwood a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more attack in most situations. Right, before we take that battle, because that one's likely to be actually fairly tricky should we decide to take it on, let's just consider our options elsewhere for the moment. We're still making money. Something else as well that I've been thinking of doing is there's a few things within Dol Guldur that we're not going to be able to get any use out of, like the Warg Breeder, for example. We may as well, well, Lorien Scouts, like, we can use them to build our units, but unless I'm very much mistaken, like, these buildings are going to be causing culture problems in Dol Guldur, which means we're not going to be able to build anything anyway, because our culture is, at the moment, it's definitely going to be Melkor's Shadow for Dol Guldur. So let's see if we can't build some stuff to make our culture go up here. I think an artist studio, culture increase bonus +1. Definitely we're going to want that. How many HP does the Uruk-hai Berserkers have in Reforged? I think it's 3, isn't it now? It used to be just the 2, but I think it's 3 now because of how expensive they are. But don't let that fool you. As soon as those hit points are expended, they drop very quickly. There is also, before I forget, this gentleman down here. We're going to keep him moving along. Yes. As we carry on through Gondor's territory, because Enedwaith are a bit of a wild card, to be honest with you. We're going to have to, I think, establish diplomatic relations with them so that they don't become tempted to attack Gondor. Right, come on, frames, come back to me. There we go. Now then, you know what, we're just going to dive on in. I think what we will do actually is we'll go after this army first. So 950, yeah, so this is a smaller battle that we're going to take on here, but it does mean that they're not going to be able to get reinforcements in. So Rumil is going to be the first one that we fight with. You could build watchtowers. I was thinking of getting a PC in Third Age. Do you think it's easy to find communities to play with? I mean, definitely. Third Age has got active communities. Discord is the place to be for that. But you shouldn't have any issues playing multiplayer. Well, I mean, Divide and Conquer is a little bit different because the multiplayer isn't really the focus of it at all. But you shouldn't have any issues finding communities to play with in Third Age. It's very active overall. Right, let's get rolling. This is actually a pretty nice position we've got. We can put our artillery up on the hill. No, yeah, we definitely want fire, I think. Some spears in behind. But yeah, I'm going to build watchtowers. I'm definitely going to build watchtowers in the Dol Guldur region, in the forest, just so that they can't sneak around me and try and go after me that way, because that would be most annoying. Actually, you know what? We're going to put some spears over on this side. We're going to get ready to maybe try and ambush with these boys. Archers. I mean, this is a decently sized army. And Rumil as well, he doesn't have quite as many archers at his disposal in his army as some of the others, which is not... I mean, Lothlorien's archers are our biggest strength after all. Let's just see what they're going to do. Yeah, definitely... What are they going to do, I wonder? They're going to retreat. Okay, well, that's fine. I mean, we can just shoot them with our artillery at the back very, very comfortably. Oh dear, fighting Isengard now. Yes, indeed, Windy. There's actually some wargs over there, which we do need to be a little bit careful of. Cavalry is the one thing that concerns me, honestly, because even though Isengard have got... Based on their units, they've got significantly more about them than Dol Guldur have, especially, you know, the Dol Guldur units that we fought before we really did them in. Ultimately, as long as I can just keep them at arm's length and keep shooting them, they're going to suffer the same fate, regardless of how they decide to try and approach it. But we have managed to sort of salvage Rohan as well, which all I need to do is get Rohan back on their feet. If we can get Rohan back in possession of Helm's Deep, they should be okay. The general balance of power between Isengard and Rohan apparently is one of the things that Divide and Conquer do quite well. Sometimes Isengard win and sometimes Rohan win. We were just rather unfortunate in this campaign, I suppose, that Isengard was so dominant right off the bat. Has Isengard started getting out their nice armoured units? Yeah, I don't think so. I think the Orc Men units are the best that they've got out so far, because the Barracks event hasn't happened yet, so... We've got the, here are the Dunland Pikemen, so they're going to be fodder for my archers, to be honest with you. They're going to get absolutely rinsed. And they've also got some of the Uruk-hai Raiders. There's also the Uruk-hai Archers, so they are going to be able to fire back. They've got the Uruk Reavers. Again, though, unshielded and lightly armoured. These guys look pretty cool, however. The Dunland Archers with their sort of round shields. Actually, that's a Dunland Cav unit, isn't it? It's not Wargs, it's Dunlanders with their axes. Interesting. And then there's this. Right, okay. What's your aim for the campaign? The long victory condition. So for Lothlorien, that is dismantling Dol Guldur and then defeating Mordor, either by wiping them off the map or doing the or dumping the ring into Mount Doom. That is the plan. Which honestly, like, the ring isn't terribly far away if it's still in Goblin Town. Do you know now which period Tolkien's series will cover? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Erevanor. Do you mean the new show from... is it Amazon? Because if you mean that, I know that it's like the rise and fall of Númenor, is it not? That's a whole different matter, though, like the Lord of the Rings show. That's something to be potentially concerned about for the future. The Second Age is quite a long period of time, though. I do wonder... Oh, for crying out loud. Come on, boys. Eventually you're going to find yourself in the corner of the map and you're not going to be able to avoid my ballista, so... you may as well just accept your fate. Again, this is the way that Lothlorien have to play things is carefully, because you can be so dominant in fights, but I need to be careful, because if I lose too many of my men, it takes me so long to replenish them, and I'm quite far away from my reinforcements at this point with Rumil. Like, this is... The elves that I've brought are kind of what I have to work with at this point. Making a TV show of the Second Age. Yes. I imagine what they're going to go for with the Lord of the Rings show is they're probably going to end it on the battle that the original series started on, so like Isildur and Elrond fighting Sauron. They might even literally have the credits roll at the point where Isildur walks away with the ring. At least that's how I would imagine they would want to end it. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be too optimistic about that. There's just been too many horror stories of late. Especially now that Christopher Tolkien it was, wasn't it, who passed away. There is now no one to defend the license from rampant exploitation. Whenever all the big decisions are being made by committee in a boardroom, you know the chances of something going horribly wrong increase greatly. This is the problem with being sort of reliant on an artillery piece, though. We are quite slow as our army moves around, which is less ideal because Lorien are usually a faction which can rely on having greater movement on foot. Come on, we're so close now. Surely. I'm surprised the ballista isn't actually already in range, at least of the units that are right in front. Right, we need to be a little bit more... Actually, these two are spears, so we want them in behind our archers, because if the cavalry does decide that it wants to charge forward, we need to be prepared for that. We might even get in range with our archers first. Really is a shame. Wish there was someone we could trust to take over for Christopher. Well... The Lord of the Rings show is interesting because I think maybe the people who are making it, what they hope, I would imagine, is that they want to be judged against the Hobbit movies because they weren't terrific, but everyone knows that they're going to be judged against the original trilogy, which is one of the hardest things that you could be judged against. But having said that, like, it's... Lord of the Rings is actually remarkably simple in a way, like... You already have the blueprint for success laid out for you, really. Like, you know what must be done. Whether they decide to do that or not is... We shall see. We shall see. Meanwhile, slowly but surely, I want to get into that nice blob back there. You just... Oh, they're actually already firing. I guess that's just a UI error then. I thought that we were close enough to use our ballista. Right, regardless. Right, now we can go up to... Right, this should be pretty good stuff because we can slice through several units at once. We can go after the Reavers and... Oh, those are the archers actually, which is nice. They won't be able to return fire onto us. Ooh, they're coming forwards. They finally see the folly of their ways. This is also going to make it slightly easier for us to do our thing there. Right. Gently does it. Need to go to lunch now. Enjoy, Joseph. Why don't people like The Hobbit? Well... That's something that could probably... It would take quite a while to explain. I mean, The Hobbit isn't dreadful. I think that there's... It's a complicated affair. I think that, for the most part, what people aren't the biggest fans about when it comes to The Hobbit is the fact that they try to pad it out with a lot of unnecessary bits and pieces. Right. This is a little bit risky, but... go. Good. What is this? Uruk Reavers? Yeah, actually, we don't want to engage Uruk Reavers with our... No, stop firing that. Right. Right. Gently does it. No, don't charge in there. Right, anyway. TV show about the history of Arnor. I actually thought that the War in the North probably would have been a good place. There's like a lot of decent characters. Actually, a lot of characters that aren't really fleshed out as well in the War of the North that could be utilised quite nicely. But what do I know? I mean, this is a little bit messy. I'm a little bit sad that these pikes are still standing. Like, they really should have broken under a charge from the units we had in there. And we are taking losses. Yeah, one of our units of Lorien warders has been cut down to size. Hello, stream took me by surprise. Hello, Val. Not much. We've only just started. Right. Yeah, you charge in there. You go after the horseman.
The enemy general abandons his men.
The enemy general abandons his men. Good. The Gerthenen are taking too many losses for my liking.
We've captured the enemy's general. That'll teach their cowardly.
Yeah, this.
Very much in our favor. Victory will be ours.
I think we need a few more archers, really, because taking straight up fights like this is punishing for us. Right, you get into them. Shoot them. They're now routing off. Good. Right. Beast Slayers are there. I think the Hobbit started off okay, the first one, but it rapidly just evolved into not a whole lot of nothing, really. There just wasn't enough going on. What we could do, well, I mean, maybe cavalry wouldn't really help us here terribly, because both Dunland and Isengard are good at dealing with such things. We'll break these guys off pretty quickly. I mean, that Rohan army's in a bit of trouble. We might be in a bit of trouble, actually, because they might come after us as well. Shoot. 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 That should be that, surely. Those raiders are fighting to the death. These sentries should easily be able to defeat Uruk-hai archers. But, I mean, it is noticeable, actually, how even Isengard's lower tier stuff, these Uruk-hai, is definitely more sturdy than the units we fought over in Dol Guldur. Hello from Australia. Hello, Bestlin. You need cavalry to chase down the enemy. Yeah, I know cavalry would be useful, but like I've been trying to prioritise other things, and we just haven't built the stables yet. Archers first and foremost. We have 3 Lorien warders at this point in that unit. That's a good point, actually. How do we... Because I know in Medieval 2 you have to group units. That is that, isn't it? Oh no, those Uruk Reavers returned from routing. More to fool them.
The enemy army flees the field. Pursue and run them down.
Finish them off, and that will be that. We don't want any of these units coming back for round 2. And that will be that. Good.
This is a clear victory.
Imagine Silmarils, Feanor and Two Trees, and Elven Lore. I mean, Silmarillion, I think, would actually be quite difficult to do. More difficult than something like the War in the North. Well, that's one Isengard. No wonder Rohan have been struggling if there's sort of even basic Isengard stacks are looking like that. We showed up just in time, boys. If we move with a decently sized Rohan army with this sort of in support of them, we should do quite nicely for ourselves. Do you plan to play Battle for Middle-earth 2 at some point in the future? I've never played Battle for Middle-earth 2, interestingly enough. Can execute all of them. That was a decent general we just finished off as well. We're going to go this way. I don't know if we're going to be able to get away, but we might as well give it a go. As for up here, we're going to get ready to move off into Dol Guldur as well, to try and take some of the outlying settlements to really start expanding, because we can't afford to just sort of play whack-a-mole with Isengard's armies with Rohan down here, because we won't be expanding at all, which is definitely not what we want. We also need to be moving towards Rockburg. Can we build anything else while we're here? Build another unit of Lorien sentries, which actually is worthwhile, because now we can definitely afford to do so. And that, I think, is going to be that. Start as you mean to go on with a victory. That Isengard army is pretty scary, though. Did they just kill that Rohan force? Kind of looks like they did. Khazad-dûm, have you a proposal for me, Balin? Apparently not. Just wants to stand in front of the town. It's true, Nora. I never listen. Remastered version of the Lord of the Rings games for PS2. Lord of the Rings is a notoriously tricky license to work with, which may be why games are in such short supply. Which is actually why I'm surprised the Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War games happened at all, to be honest with you. But there you go. Isengard, what are you going to do? Ooh. Scary. That's a big force that they're building up. We need to be quite careful with that. Rohan need to make sure that they don't... I mean, it'd be typical if I arrive just as Rohan's position becomes impossible to hold on to. Look at this now. Imladris is besieged again. I don't think they're going to have any issues dealing with that, though. Emissary to Moria. I suppose we could do that. We've got a dude up in... this is our guy as well. We've got a guy hovering near Thranduil's halls for whenever he stops being such a loser and responds positively to my requests. Right, what have we got going on here? Hall of Music. A Master Builder's Hall. That might be worth it, actually. Building income, plus 50. Let's go for an inn, actually. Actually, that's a good point. I just need to check. Have we got any damage buildings? Yes, we do. Do have damage buildings. What a fool I am. Drychan. I think we fixed all the buildings there, didn't we? Right, anyway. We're going this way with you. And if you like a hack and slash OK stealth element, then go for it. Remember the White Council? Nobody remembers the White Council. I mean, I've ignored most of their requests because a lot of their requests have been establish a diplomatic relationship with Mordor. Have a chat with the Dark Lord of Mordor. And it's like, do you understand what we're supposed to be doing here, boys? I don't think you do. Madness is afoot. Right, what are we going to do here?
I'm gonna stick
Right, we want to be avoiding that at all costs. That may be more doable. That. Okay, hold on. Let's go down here. They may be heading up towards Rockburg, though, which... That would not be fantastic. That means that the AI is prioritising me instead of... Instead of Rohan, which would be... gloriously typical, wouldn't it? This is interesting because I did want to just sort of hold Isengard at bay while I expand, but if they are coming up this way, then I perhaps need to hold off on my plans for expansion for the time being, because I might need to start rapidly reassessing my position. Well, let's see what they do first. What Premier League team do you go for, Yuma? Manchester United. So, mixed season. Very mixed. Not a popular team either. Very much for or against. You dork, I meant the White Council. The open world over there. Oh, right. You need more towers on your southern borders so you know if they attack. Yeah, but I'm not going to move... Like, I've got a general on the way there now. I can't magically place towers where I don't have a general. Edoras is... again. Edoras is empty. Come on, boys.
Come, my brothers.
Right, hold on. Before we do that, let's...
Follow me. Like the wind. At ease. Sire. Orders completed.
Right. We are making money. Art gallery. We don't really need culture in Karas Galadon. I'd hope that it's just fine as it is. Tavern. That might be worthwhile. How much is that? Nearly all of our money. Never mind. Right, Erui. Is that Balrim? I thought that said Balin for a second then. I was like, what's he doing there? Communal farming, an inn. Let's go for communal farming. And then you. How is the balance of power like that? We're going to have to fight that one. I'm not losing units from a... We are actually fighting outside Edoras, though, I believe. Why have Dactyne made Lothlorien spear unit a halberd? Oh, the two-handed spears. Ooh, this is quite nice. Well, I mean, we're technically on the attack here with this. This is quite scenic. Anyway. What are they going to do, I wonder? I mean, we have friends with us, do we not? We have Rohirrim that can... No, that's not what I wanted to do. The Rohirrim should be able to return the favour that I'm doing them here by providing some support in the battle. No, 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 don't get in the way of the ballista. You need one unit in Erui. I don't think so. I think Moria have got other problems. For a start, if Imladris is being besieged, I would imagine that's from Moria, which means they should have... and also Khazad-dûm were pushing them back, so I don't think they will. If they do, I'll just go up there with Celeborn and give them the business. Where are the Rohirrim? Way over there. Okay. Magnificent. Yes. Do multiplayer campaigns exist in this game? Sort of. They do hot seat campaigns, which is kind of multiplayer, but not really. Don't know why they're coming up with the Uruk-hai archers, but they're going to get absolutely squashed.
The battle is very much in our favor. Victory will be ours.
Easy peasy. Wish. Last way I can think of to get is trade rights and alliance. I mean, we already have trade rights. While I wasn't looking, it appears that our you know what, actually get out of there. You move. More likely to do damage to our own units in this case. Yeah, we're getting some good shots there now though. Look at Rohan letting me do their dirty work for them. Sat up there on the hill having a grand old time. Thranduil always rejects the alliance because you can't ally with them until the script. I don't think that's true. I think the way that the script fires in the first place is you get the alliance with them. Unless, you know, but I think turn 60 is when the script can fire if you're allied with them. So if by turn 60 Thranduil's like, hey, how about an alliance? Then you're right, but I'm not convinced that's the way that it works. For crying out loud. How are these Uruk Reavers victory seems certainty when I'm actually dusting them with arrows? Right. You go right there. This should be enough to get them to rout, you would hope.
If we continue like this, we will smack good tidings.
There goes the enemy general. The script requires you to be allied with Thranduil. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I mean, we're already past turn 40. So I mean, as soon as we ally with him, it should fire all at once. As soon as he actually says yes. No, we need to finish them off. Stop firing. Kill them all. They're going to get away. Well, Rohan, I suppose Rohan are going to come down now, are they? They're going to come down now and finally give me a hand. I'm really pulling you out of the fire here, boys, and this is how you repay me? Unbelievable. Shoot them. Really hope to see you in more battles. Guess you don't have time to play and then now... Yeah, kind of, Jaden, that's kind of how it goes. What made you start YouTube? Kind of just a hobby, really. It was more of a... more just by chance. I was bored one summer and it's just started from there. There was no grand plan, really. It just worked out this way. And it's been a nice sort of part-time thing as I did my university stuff. It's definitely better than working a soul-destroying shift in a place like Primark. Definitely don't want that. But they're going to leave the field now. Look at that, look, there's Uruk-hai archers all the way up there. And look at, I don't understand what Rohan are trying to accomplish here. There's Rohan bodyguards as well. Just think of the destruction you can cause with a unit like this, and they've just been sat on the hill letting me take the hits. Anyway, I guess all we need to do now is wait. Look at this, there's peasant scouts right there. They could run them down. They could get some chevrons on their trash. Bizarre choices, to be sure.
This is a clear victory.
Well, we took 43 losses. I mean, these will add up over time, these losses. There's the thing, with this sort of army, there's a limit to what we're going to be able to accomplish. We can definitely help Rohan, but they're going to have to do a bit of the legwork at least themselves. I say just let Rohan fall. Well, I mean, it's a bit late for that. We're at war with Isengard now. Also, it's not really very thematic, is it? That's why I wanted to save Rohan in the first place. Kill them. Enemy camp sacked. I'm more worried about them taking this settlement, to be honest with you, because then they become my problem in a more direct sense. And it will sort of slow, or if not outright stop, my expansion this way. Mining network is fine. What's a brawler's hall? Doesn't give me anything, does it? So we can destroy that. A carpenter's hut does help me actually, so we can keep that. A blacksmith. Elven chainmail from that. I mean, as soon as we can start building units from here, they should be pretty good right off the bat, which is nice. Can we actually build anything in here? Only a ballista maker. Which isn't... As soon as we upgrade these buildings as well, I suppose they become something nice. Anyway. Normal tax rate. Cannot change the tax level of the castle. Right. I think perhaps what we're going to do... I want to start scouting forwards with these boys. Dol Guldur is indifferent, but I mean this is a decently sized army. Yeah, there's Austin Gale, which we can presumably try and take with an army like that, as long as we play our cards right. Faction Heir, yeah, Liberator of Amon Lank. I like that you got that title for being the one to pull the trigger on Carmul.
Stopping here.
How do you get Gurvi? That's a good question. I know what you're talking about, the archer variant of the Gurvinen. I don't know, honestly, but they would be incredibly useful because of how damaging they can be. I'm not entirely certain how we build them, however. Stables? It might be worth getting a stables, honestly, at this point. In Karas Galathon. Let's do it. Why not? And that is pretty much that. We've already moved this gentleman, haven't we? Right, let's just move him back over here. That's what I'm worried about. There's a big cluster of Isengard units that I don't want coming up this way. What is Enedwaith doing? Good question, Jasdeep. The Enedwaith are the ones that could really throw a spanner in the works here, because Gondor have been doing remarkably well. But if Enedwaith declare war on Gondor, they'll collapse because there's no way they can defend both sides of their kingdom. So if we can get Enedwaith on side to the point where they agree to attack Dunland and Isengard, that might also help us out a lot. So they could be key, really. Which is why my diplomat is going that way. He's on a tour of Middle-earth. Ah, what are you doing? What sort of Independent Realms army is this? One that I don't feel too concerned about, to be honest with you. Well, perhaps actually. I think I've got like a swordsman unit, haven't I, as well as my archers. We're going to have to make liberal use of the old kiting, I think. Oh no, it is 2 units of archers. Okay. These are Rohirric rebels, though, so the chances are they've probably got cavalry, which is less ideal. Do they? No, they don't. Those are sellswords, though, which is maybe a little bit concerning. Okay, hold on. Let's get them out onto open field first. Kiting is going to be the way forward here. What about Ered Luin? A faction in the north. I was actually thinking about doing Angmar next because the way they're set up is quite interesting. Ered Luin would be another possibility, although I think if I were to do Ered Luin, I would be very tempted to go the evil route with them because it's a little bit different. In a similar way to if I were to play Khand, I would accept the Blue Wizard's offer and go good. Because it basically means you're in the heart of the opposing ideology's land and you're deciding to go against them. which I find quite an interesting concept. What are you going to do? Shoot them. This is going to be pretty painful, I think, because sellswords, they're not a unit to be taken lightly. As long as we can finish off an entire unit of one of them at least with the arrows, I think we should be okay, but whether we can go on to then take the settlement or not is debatable, which is kind of annoying, to be honest with you. Like, I think this stream is going to be mostly about me trying to fix my positioning. Go this way. They are shielded, but I don't think... I'm not sure what Divide and Conquer's stance on having shields on the back is. I assume it's the same as in the others, where it's like a sort of minor shield bonus. I would assume. Apparently soon, if you go evil as Eredluin, you fight the High Elves straight away. Well, I mean, I assume like that's the main reason why I'd want to do that, because you obviously... you put yourself right at the top of Círdan's most wanted list right away. The next campaign wouldn't be the High Elves. The next campaign wouldn't be an Elven faction of any type, because obviously I'm doing Lothlorien now. So it makes sense to try and spread things out a little bit. This is going to be a pretty tricky battle to come out ahead in, really, I think. Just don't think we have the ammunition levels required. I think DAC doesn't count shields on the back as shields. Alright. Yeah, this is going to be tricky. I think we might have to rely on our abilities in melee, which means this guy who was... I think he was the lucky one who was part of that battle where, like, Dol Guldur backed off, even though they had me in a corner. What cav has Lorien got? So they've got some sort of light spear riders, and then they've got like a slightly tankier version of that, but cavalry really isn't their thing. Like, they've got some cav, but it's not by no means the focus of their faction. If you accept the alliance with Mirkwood, you gain access to some horse archers as well. Yeah, we should try and focus down... Actually, we should go after the smaller unit, really, shouldn't we? No, don't charge in. How much ammunition do you think we have? I might have left that a bit too late. No, we just about made it. No! That was a misclick, and that may very well cost me the entire battle. That's really annoying. Wow. Really? Yeah, that's going to do me in. That's going to be the end of this guy. Now they're at charge speed as well, so I can't get away. Well, maybe we'll be alright. We still have the same amount of ammunition, I suppose, but that... Don't want to lose the battle that way. Hello, Lewis. This might be an impossible one to try and win, to be honest with you, because the sellswords will do damage to us in melee. They're still right on our tail as well. Oh, they're so slow at reacting. Yeah, there he goes. No, they're going to get caught as well. Wow, this is a comedy of errors. How are they so quick all of a sudden? We were easily able to outpace them earlier on, and now they're like right on us and they're not leaving. They can't constantly be up to charge speed. That's not how it works. Back into a corner and retreat. if I retreat, is Medieval 2 one of those games that is like, yo, well, not Medieval 2, but Divide and Conquer? Is it one of those where it's like, yo, you've lost your whole army because you retreated? Because if it is, I'd rather just fight this out and at least try and kill some of them. But if it's one of those that like actually lets me spare these soldiers by retreating, then I will do so. I don't understand how this one independent realms region was able to get out some swordsmen this quickly. Like, they've had that town for like 2 turns and they've already got an army up and about. Again, messing around in sort of minor battles like this isn't really how I wanted the stream to go, but here we go. After Rockburg revolted after literally 1 turn of me owning it. That's a whole thing. I don't really like the name, to be honest with you, but it's something I got stuck with because it was just my name on a forum, and it's too late to change it now because it's what everyone knows me as. Such is the way of things, though. Right, eventually we're just going to charge into melee and just end this, because I don't think we're going to win it anyway, so I want to at least use up all my ammunition beforehand, though. Who knows, maybe surrounding them one by one will be enough to finish them off and do the business. Keep an eye on where the other one is. They are just standing there. I saw someone say something about restarting battles, but I'm not going to do that. Like, even if it was a misclick, the reason why I have ultimately ended up botching this one, it's still something that I should have to live with. Otherwise there's no jeopardy in the campaign at all. I may as well just explain how a perfect Lothlorien campaign goes if I never lose any battles. Alright, let's see how good the Elbereth Sentinels are in melee then. We might be able to finish off 1 unit of the sellswords, but I think with another unit of 125 right there we're going to struggle, unless they allow us to kill them one by one. Not a shocking performance, I mean, well... Yeah, this is going to be too much, but we may as well just carry on as is. Defeat seems certain. There's no point in pulling out and charging back in, because if I try and pull out, they're just going to slaughter me as I turn my back.
Defeat seems almost certain.
Yeah, victory. That's frustrating, to be honest. But what are you going to do, right? I'm going to park a general in Rockburg and make sure that these filthy peasants never rise up again.
We've been beaten by our foe.
Well, that dude died. He probably should have died sooner, to be fair, if the AI didn't have a... Yeah, sellswords I think are the best unit that the independent realms in this part can field. It's like they're effectively their bodyguard unit. At least that's how it worked when I was taking the settlements. Maybe they've got something else as well. Maybe we should just send Celeborn down here, but that's going to wreck our finances. We've already got Haldir out of a settlement. We've got Vrumil doing his thing. Do we just send Rumil back up here? Bladesmith's Guild. Yes. Western Moria besieged. So yeah, Khazad-dûm are dealing with the goblins. They're doing their thing. Rohan are doing their thing. That's a small enough army, I think, for us to be able to deal with, to be honest with you, so we'll keep that in mind. We've got a lot to be getting on with all of a sudden. Right. Okay. How much money are we making? Not a lot of money. Not a lot of money. Right, let's start off with... No, mate. Lord Aglarakor the Sycophant. He's got a lot of soldiers. He's got a lot of soldiers. Oh, that's a dangerous general to be fighting as well. Things were going quite swimmingly in this campaign, actually, up until this part. Okay, we're just going to have to make sure that we don't fumble this one, because Anduin, again, like all of my allies, they're just riding on my coattails. Anduin, because the problem I'm going to have here, I know, I can see it happening already, is I'm going to do the heavy lifting and then Anduin are going to yoink the settlement out from under me. Even though they've been actually worthless up until this point. They've done nothing at all. The good thing about Haldir's army, though, is that he himself is very impressive. The hero of the campaign so far, really. But even this army, like, is looking like it's got some wear and tear at this point in time. Right. Caliborn isn't free. I know he's not free, but moving him out and putting another governor in does still mean I'm losing money, because the other guy is not as good a governor as him. Not by a long shot. Which is why he's stayed there for so long. Thranduil probably hasn't moved, to be honest with you. Thranduil's probably taken like one Dol Guldur region and then just sat on his hands. What have we got going on? What sort of general is I mean, I think the cavalry version is exclusive to Khamul himself. Although I say that, there's still this to be concerned about. Some wargs. We have spears for them, though. I'm more concerned about this. So these are the sort of the Dol Guldur boys. The Witchram Blackguard. Hey, Lango. What's up? Right. What do we want to do here? Right, I think what we want to do is we want to make sure that our spears are there, or thereabouts. And then you can all go over here like so. Right, Haldir has been just taking names in this campaign so far. And we need that to continue. We need that to continue at this very moment. What is this? Dol Guldur archers. And Orc Hunter. Well, I mean, they have archers. Which again is frustrating. They've got javelins as well, which means we need to be on the lookout. I mean, those archers are so depleted, we don't need to worry. Hello, King Amar. No, we're not at the end of the stream. We are struggling our way through this one. As things have not gone quite as swimmingly as I would have initially liked, but maybe we can salvage things. We're doing the patented Elven Kite every chance we get to try and make up for the fact that our units take millennia to train. Hello, Llama Boy. No, I'm not cheating, mate. We're doing this the old-fashioned way. With blood, sweat and tears. What is that? Mirkwood Hunters? I think not. Shoot them. Shoot them at once. Yeah, they're going down. easy as you like. Dol Guldur archers. Right, we need to keep an eye on those wargs. We also need to keep an eye on the Castellans of Dol Guldur, as they're called in this one. Look at this, look at all of them appearing out of the woodwork now. You know what? Kiting is the blood life. Jesus, look at all of that. The wargs are what concerns me most of all here at this point. Right. Again, another tricky one. Another tricky one. Hello, Calvin. Can we get a move on here? I don't know if like my units have gained weight in the off season or what, but they seem way more sluggish today than they were previously. And now we're getting shot. They're just sort of dawdling in range of the enemy units. Right. You go this way. Our shock infantry is going to be pretty key here, I think, because we're going to need to break units as they come. And the Castellans are not going to go down easily either. Bloody hell. What do I miss? Last, you were making trouble for Isengard. Isengard are making trouble for me now, mate. Oh, for crying out loud. How are my units so slow all of a sudden? Elves, fleet of foot, I think not. They're actually getting bantered in a foot race with goblins. Rohan is still alive, yes, Lewis. You know what? Kill them. You come to the wrong neighbourhood. And they're getting attacked as well now. Ugh. How is this even happening? We're just going to have to hope that their units are so bad, which is a possibility, that we're just able to finish them off that way. How are they dying so quickly? I'm bemused. Absolutely bemused by this game at this point. How? You're up against wargs in close melee and you're supposed to be my most damaging unit. Hello, newbie one. You're just in time to see my campaign go completely off the rails, to be honest with you, because these last two turns have crippled me, I think. How are these, like, these wargs are dying so slowly at the hands of elven spears? I don't understand what the game wants from me.
For the moment, the fortune of battle goes our way.
Are you sure about that?
It remains as such.
I question it. My infantry line is about to completely collapse. That's probably not helping. And we're getting javelined. And there's no way that my infantry plows its way through all those goblins, and there's no way my archers are going to be able to do it, not with the Castellans there. Especially not with how sluggish my units have been responding. Yeah, I think we're done. I think we're done out here. The wargs took so long to die there that and they're not even dead yet. Like, they're still there. That's crazy. I don't know if they're strong enough to help to finish off the Castellans as well, though. I mean, even if we win, we're going to have to go back to Dol Guldur with our tail between our legs, which means Anduin are going to... We're going to have to completely sort of go back into our shell and rebuild, I think. Which is really frustrating, honestly. It's really not great. You go after them. The Galathrim archers need to stop getting kited around. I can't believe there are still wargs left alive. I cannot believe it. You get into melee with them. Those Lothlorien archers are shaken, which I can only assume is a result of the Castellans, which they're going to have to get sacrificed to the gods, to be honest with you. We're going to have to shoot them in the back with the Galathrim archers. It's a remarkably upbeat appraisal of the situation, to be honest. There's still a Warg Marauder. He's going down. I'm not having any of those wolves survive this battle. Right. Now you come back over here. Man, stressful. Hello, Dustin. I mean, yeah, we're probably going to win, but we're not going to be able to expand at all. We're going to have to slowly rebuild. Emphasis on slow. Right then. How are the Castellans getting on? We're shooting them in the back, so they should be getting polished off quite neatly. Yeah, I will say that I probably, like, the timing of the streams is kind of... It doesn't help the people who live in Canada and America, I would say, but such is the way of things. Right, the Orc Hunters are going down. Those Castellans should be falling. They are, slowly but surely. Man, this has been a painful experience, to say the least. How's Haldia doing? Well, the Castellans are still getting dunked on. Elves be quick. The irony of that statement, considering what the last two battles have wrought me. Your armies are getting depleted now. Yeah, that's a problem. We're going to have to spend so much time building back up, though, which is disappointing, but I suppose unavoidable at this point. Ooh. You need to get over here. Now that when it comes down to us throwing our archers into melee, you know something's gone pretty badly wrong. Are you really coming after us in melee? These archers are holding it down in melee though. Not many of those castellans left. Haldir's got a ton of ammo as well, hasn't he? Is this one of the like fanfic Nazguls that Divide and Conquer adds? I assume it is, given the fact that he was named and had like maximum command. Imladris is still alive, yeah. Hello, A291. If he retreats now, Rohan will fall and Dol Guldur with a mass. The upside, though, is that without the upkeep of your armies, you can take Celeborn out without ruining your economy. Yeah, that's true. We can actually start moving around, potentially, with Celeborn. Which is nice. Shoot them point blank. There's only 10 Castellans remaining, actually, now at this point, which is good.
The battle is very much in our favour.
We need to keep Haldir in Dol Guldur, I guess. I suppose it's not the end of the world if Anduin starts eating the northern bit of, well, the middle bit of Dol Guldur, because it means that they can't mass up quite so easily. Well, Imladris are doing the business against Moria. I don't know what Angmar are doing, but I would assume they're doing quite well, considering that the Northern Dunedain have had several... We've seen several messages of, like, Fornost and the Angle being besieged. Well, Haldir at least is going to be able to get out of here alive. And this Nazgul will not. He will die, and because we've taken Dol Guldur, I believe he won't respawn. Yeah, I know the light archers... Well, I don't have heavy archers. Like, the only archer I have... Well, I could recruit Alberis Sentinels, but that means I'm recruiting generals. And I can't... I cannot fill an entire army of generals because the upkeep will be insane and there'll only be like 30 men per unit. There we go. Ooh. Go after the Castellans. That's something I really need to change the button of, because toggle melee is tab, but so is cycle through the units. Can I do that now, actually? I don't think I can I? But that's the default, which is weird. I'm not with the way that this stream has gone so far, I'm not risking Haldir in melee. Right, we're pursuing all over the place. With goblins, go after them, sure, why not? You know what? Why not? We can't shoot because we'll get more friendly fire even at this range, but that one Nazgul. Upkeep for the elves is ridiculous. Thranduil offered an alliance yet? No, he hasn't. He's been quite obstinate about that. But to be honest with you, I probably would be better off not accepting the alliance at the moment, just because on top of everything else, I can't really afford a Doomstack spawning next to Karas Galadon. Right, now we should be in business. There he is. Let's go up to ×6 speed. Well, I mean, if Anduin can take this settlement, at least it gives Dol Guldur something else to think about, you would hope. It's just the way Thranduil rolls. He just doesn't like being helpful. Wonder if we can get these guys down here in time. Probably. He's not... Oh, there he goes. Never mind. I was about to say Nazgul generals are notoriously tanky. We lost another 200 elves there. So we're really taking some damage at this point. Perhaps if we just go down the Anduin River, That can be our plan for expansion in the future. For now, we just need to stabilise ourselves, try and build tall rather than wide, because it's biting us more than... No, there. The Lord of Dol Guldur is there. Oh, that was their faction leader. Excellent. Hold on a moment. Chieftain Lagoran of the Neck. He's their faction heir. It's a garrison of... I mean, we can take that, can't we? Really? We can take 3 units, I think. Alright, let's go. Why can't we build ladders? We can only build a ram. Okay, well, we'll maintain the siege. We can take that settlement. Dol Guldur isn't that unhappy. Profits? Right. Hold on. This is what we're going to do now. What we're going to do... We're going to go down here. Don't even care if we start losing money. We're probably losing... Yeah, we're losing lots of money at this point, but... You know what? Doesn't even matter. Because what we're going to do is attack this Isengard army over here. It's the master plan, I'm telling you. We're going to kill this army and then ransom them for some cash. Knowing my luck, this Isengard army will be entirely made of, like, crossbowmen, and they'll just wreck me, but... Right, Rumil, what started with such promise... Right, you know what, we're gonna start kiting down here with our archers, just alone. We're gonna keep a unit of spears with them in case they've got some cav, but everything else is gonna come up here. And just wait. And they can go over here. Right. Yeah. Fire at them. Don't think they have any cavalry, which is glorious. They do have ballistae of their own, which is less glorious. Actually, yeah, go after the ballista. Let's not have skirmish mode on. Has UMAD had to reload campaign? No, I haven't. Hopefully that it... I don't want it to come to that, to be honest with you. I want to live with the mistakes. And I would say that I haven't really made mistakes, to be honest. I think I've just been... This is... You gotta love the AI. Right. Well, seeing as they don't have cavalry, actually, we can afford to just... we're just going to charge on in. Get up close and start wrecking that ballista quickly. Yeah, exactly, Lango. And it's not... We're not in a dreadful situation. Like, it's more of an awkward situation that we're in, rather than like we're doomed sort of situation. It's just the fact that the flow of expansion and sort of victory has been stifled somewhat. Well, actually, we can probably get into melee with that ballista, and we can get ready to shoot everything else. It also perhaps doesn't help that Lothlorien's playstyle is like this, where you have to be constantly careful to not lose too much, otherwise you get yourself into a tough situation. Hello, Henry. Better late than never, yes indeed. There's still plenty of time remaining. Definitely the goal for this stream has quite rapidly become sort of fix and stabilise my position as best as I'm able. Look at this. Look at that ballista. He doesn't even know how doomed he is. Again, questionable choices from the AI at best. There we go. Eventually that unit of spears will catch up to the crew and then they're done for. And do they have archers? No, but they have reavers. Or do they have archers? No, they do have archers actually, but we'll hit them by proxy. So this is pretty excellent thus far. Honestly, this ballista has proven to be kind of worthless, to be honest with you. If we're being brutally honest, it hasn't really been the saviour that we needed. When are we finishing the stream this time? Probably about 6 PM GMT-ish, unless like something crops up and I need to stop early, but I don't think that will end up happening. Ooh. Get out of there. We can kite that unit of axemen. That ballista crew is doomed. I'm amazed the ballista crew is actually managing to score kills at all, if I'm being honest. Right, you... Oh yeah, you just charge in there. And you get into the raiders. Fire uphill. No, no, actually you shoot that way. We can kite around this one unit of axemen with all our archers. You go after them with the warders, and we can break everything up with our strike infantry. Marvellous. Yeah, the Uruk-hai archers. Well, actually, they didn't break. Give them their due. But we may as well actually keep going after the archers with our strike infantry as well, to be honest with you, because everything else looks like it's going to break. This is a little bit more by the book. He did a super chat, did he? No. Jesus. I'm lucky though they managed to thread the needle and shoot those Uruk-hai raiders there, because they nearly got devastating friendly fire. Hold on, I'll check the super chat in just a second. Bloody hell. What is it with artillery in Medieval 2? And it just has a mind of its own. Oh dear. Right. Lothlorien warders, you go off this way. What have we going on? 35 Tsar. Thank you, Calvin. That's honestly really kind of you. I don't know what the official... I don't actually know what South African currency is called. I just typed it in Google just to find out what it actually was, but thank you very much. Elven accuracy extends to siege pieces as well. Well, that's certainly very nice. Keep going over that way. Right, well, we've completely destroyed this Isengard army, which is good. Buy Rohan a bit more time, and buy myself a little bit more cash. But this is why I haven't taken Caliborn out of Carascaladon, because taking him out, even though I'm not getting his unit for free by it being in there, he's such a good governor that taking him out of my capital city reduces my income by so much. They're still... Can the entire unit please move instead of just parts of it? Are they going after my ballista? They might be going after my ballista, but they're all going to die before that, I would think. Be very surprised if they didn't. This has been a little bit more like it, though. This army's infantry is getting low. Yes. This army's infantry got low in the last battles, though, that they were in. We'll just end the battle. There we go. The problem is with this army is it's just an expeditionary force to try and save Rohan. I can't really reinforce this army all that easily because they're far from home. Yeah, Celeborn is suffering from success, let's be honest. The world is like burning around him and he's just sat there in his lovely palace. Woe is him.
They will not see us in the forest.
Yes, we will ransom them. Oh god, Isengard refused. Okay. Well, I mean, I'll execute them then. That was my second choice, believe me.
We must defend these.
After proving himself capable in battle, it becomes apparent this elf would make a worthy noble. He should be in the family tree anyway, shouldn't he? Because of, he's Haldir's brother, but sure.
Come, my brothers.
Right, that. What have you got going on?
I would fight for your people as if they were my own. Have a taste of my blade.
Not sure if I want to get... Well, I mean, these Isengard armies at this point actually are... Rohan might actually be on the road to being mended. Can I get over there?
Engage.
Nope. Well, I mean, none of these Isengard armies are all that scary anyway, unless there's like a full stack over here. Nope, we're good. And that should be it. Get a Patreon site going. Yes, I know it does, Kelvin. It's, I suppose, considering the situation, I suppose it's something that I can more readily think about now. I didn't even, to be honest with you, when I did my first campaign stream, I didn't even realise I had super chats turned on. I think something like that probably would be a good idea. Right, we're not losing that much money anymore. Ooh, what's going on here? It looks scarier than it is because a lot of these armies are honestly, they would be having more luck, I think, if these lads all combined into a bigger blob than they're currently in. But it also doesn't help that we took Haldir out of Dol Guldur, so we don't have good governors really in either of our two big money makers. Right. Oh yeah, I forgot to move him. Need to get Enedwaith on side. That would fix things. Just got the script at turn 92. What is Rumil? Rumil is Haldir's brother, but his unit is the Lothlorien March Wardens, which are kind of like our regular archer. They're the tier above the archer that we've been using for the moment, I think. But he comes obviously with chevrons and with upgraded armour and more in the unit than I think is not. Ooh. For crying out loud.
There are too
Right.
many. We'll need reinforcements. Back off.
Well, we go backwards. How are Dol Guldur doing this well? How did they manage to besiege Thranduil? Hello, your enemy's friend. Nazgul returned to Mordor. The sad realization sets into the hearts of those who fight against the Shadow. Nazguls cannot be killed. Despite being defeated in battle, their spirit cannot be destroyed. Upon returning to Mordor after his defeat, he spends time with the Dark Lord and slowly regains a more physical presence, and now he is ready to return to the field. The shadow surely grows on this dark day. The Khan of Khand is dead. With the death of the late Khan of Khand, the next great warlord has risen to become Khan. The lords know not whether to find fear or comfort in this knowledge. Rumours of the Istari. My lord, rumours have reached us that the Blue Wizards Alatar and Palondo have appeared out of memory and are travelling to the Khan of Khand. Well, I mean, he's dead, but you do you. The tales state they have gathered a vast force from the Orakani Mountains to strike a blow at the Dark Tower and prevent the East from overwhelming the West. The Khan's decision for siding with the Blue Wizards will leave Khan's future in jeopardy, for the Shadow will seek to reclaim Khand and crush their rebellion. Sure. Stolatza Khand lost. Despite the Variag's lust for battle, despite their skill in arms, and even with their high morale, the capital of Khand is now under control of its enemies. Though they suffer defeat on this day, the men of Khand do not despair. They believe defeat in battle is glorious and pride themselves on the next battle. This does not mean that the Variag sit idle. The enemy must hold on to their newfound city for the next many battles awaits the foes of the men of Khand. Edoras is besieged again. Thranduil's halls is besieged, which is not great. Fenris Druinin is assaulted. Okay. Hello from a Georgian fan. Oh, the country, Georgia. It's always interesting to see the demographics on YouTube, to see how many,
Yes, my lord.
sort of where people come from. And that's cool indeed. Wait, no, we don't want to visit that town.
Lord.
So that last turn was
Yes.
worrying, to say the least. For a while it looked like the good forces of Middle-earth were sort of on a bit of a tear. Now, however, looking a little bit dodgy. Looking a little bit dodgy. Thranduil's Halls has somehow come up. I can't believe Dol Guldur is still doing this well, to be honest with you, considering the fact that...
Like the wind.
Can you please get...
Out the area.
Unbelievable. You got in my way. Oh, Anduin. Anduin, you've been so useless. You've actually been more of a hint, like... Never mind.
Onward. Stay alert.
When will Dol Guldur and Ered Luin come out in 3rd Age Reforged? I have no idea, Neil. Right, they're losing again.
Over here, elves.
Away we go.
Have a taste of my blade.
Jesus. Right, I've decided. I'm making the executive decision to abandon Rohan. They've made such a hash of this. There's no salvaging them at this point. Honestly, Rumil might die as well because they're besieging Edoras, and I'm right there now.
By the light of
What a joke. Okay. What shall we do? What shall we do? Did they just die? Edoras fell. That's what happened. Fan from Yorkshire. Well, now that Edoras has fallen, to be honest with you, Rohan have lost all my patience. Good forces seem pressured on multiple sides. Gondor and Dol Amroth seem to be doing just fine. I mean, at least Thranduil was able to do his own work and lift the siege on his fine abode.
Watch the flank.
Right. Are you serious? Right. I'm not having that. I'm not being... I am reloading that save because I'm not being filtered into a Dol Guldur army because Anduin were in my way. I don't like reloading a save, but I'm doing it on that occasion because I'm not accepting that. Because that's ridiculous. Unless, like, the save is already there, in which case Haldir's dead. He's doomed. There's no way we can get him out of there. Yeah, he's already over there. That's so annoying. That's so bad.
Elves.
Well, we're done. We're done out here. Rohan got killed by... The thing is, Isengard aren't superior to Rohan at the start of the game. Like, they're about evenly matched, and they just got rolled. Lex. Look at this nonsense. Khazad-dûm are doing... You know, they're just sort of... I mean, at the very least, Khazad-dûm aren't doing badly. They haven't moved, but they haven't been doing badly. Gondor are here. Can Gondor be the ones? Can they save everyone? So I will ask again. Oh, they didn't attack me this time. Well, Haldia gets given a reprieve. I was going to say, preemptively, if retreating a general means the game sort of screws you over by saying your entire army dies, which it's never made a great deal of sense to me. I know that it's a exploitable feature, but retreating from the situation shouldn't mean that all of your units magically die. Right, we are... Right, this is a problem. This is a crisis, actually. We're in a sticky situation, to say the least. Because now there's all this nonsense which is going to be converging on us. No! Right. And also now the turn times they're taking ages because all of the separate armies, we have to watch them move around. Edoras, built by King Brego of the Mark, has fallen. The horde of Meduseld now stands dull, without laughter, except for those of Rohan's enemies. Yet in the plains of Rohan a great fury has risen up, and it will not easily be abated. Eored Gather and the riders of the Mark have found willing warriors. 4th Eolingus. Well, I've got no faith at all that you are going to be able to do anything, Rohan, because you've been a colossal disappointment in this game. And I'm leaving you now. You're done. We need to take this area as well. What is going on here? What is this? And what is this? That is a chunky boy. Right. We'll fight on this battle map. God damn, this campaign has become such a slog all of a sudden. And it's all because I was being nice and I was trying to help Rohan. If I'd have just left them as they were, we wouldn't be having any of these troubles. And in the end, my help was not enough to make the difference anyway, because they died regardless of what I did. Okay, let's see what we can make happen. We might not even be able to hold on to Dol Guldur at this point, to be honest with you, because if they start attacking me with... Like, this is the army I have over here. This is what I'm working with. I've got one extra unit in Dol Guldur itself, and that's it. And knowing the AI, we won't even be able to take advantage of the settlement to help us defend, because how it always seems to work in Total War is they'll just try and siege you out and force you to come out, which means you have to fight on the open field. Less awesome. I mean, at the very least, there's not really anything in the way of ranged units, so we can sort of shoot them at our leisure, in theory. Right. Could we not fire at will? Maulers. That's who we want to be killing first. Now then. I don't know if we've got the infantry levels to withstand this, to be honest with you. We need a unit of spears behind. Well, they're just charging us, actually? Yes, they are. Okay. Again, I imagine these wargs are extremely tanky for no properly discernible reason. shoot into them. Oof. We might win this, but again, we're going to be so depleted by the time we come out of this battle. This is why I didn't turn the difficulty up to maximum, because the stack spam is even more obnoxious. And at that point it just becomes an exercise in patience, which, to be honest with you, we're going to have to be patient anyway. It's going to come down to our archers once again to try and get the job done. I need help from my allies. Well, I may as well fall on my own sword now, because allies in Total War games have never been worth the air they breathe. They never come to your aid. The only thing that an ally really gives you is the knowledge that you're not going to be attacked from a certain direction. That's all allies in Total War have ever been. All I can hope is that these units in the middle here hold on for just a little bit longer and we continue to shoot them. They're being ever so kind by letting us shoot into their sides.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
Let's see here. Mirkwood goblins are shaken? Wavering? Weird. Right. Shoot those wargs. Actually no, just shoot into the middle there. We just need to do some damage at this point. This unit of archers can probably get a little bit closer because they're going to be the first ones to be committed to the front line. Turning the difficulty up makes the enemy get more units. Yeah, I know that on the battle map, the only thing that changing the difficulty does is affect the enemy morale. Which, to be honest, if you're the elves playing against the orcs, is always going to be in your favour anyway. Right, let's see here. Warg marauders, they're going to charge in there, but I mean, we're going to have next to no infantry remaining when all is said and done. Can we pull those riders off their mounts? That's their general, which is, well, that was their general. Well, we need at this point to look at this infantry. Oh, it's in absolute tatters. At least that the loss of their general had a big impact. Right, we need to finish them off here. Give them the work. And Mirkwood goblins are going to be finished. Good. And that will be that. Is this all we can conjure? Apparently so. Elves don't have many children, and unfortunately that means the replenishment factor is not in our favour. I think what we need to do is we need to turn Rockburg into a bit of a fortress, to be honest with you. We're going to have to park Chaldea and Dol Guldur and Celeborn in Rockburg, and with that I think we can make something happen.
Be awed by the victory we have won here
Right,
today.
another 70 elves lost. Hello, Commander Tech. Send the Golden Chevron Spear to retrain if you can. How do you retrain in this game again? Sort of a rediscovery of Medieval 2 in many ways, this. Right, well, we're executing all of them. They can get out of here.
Come, my brothers. Like the wind.
Right. What have we got going on in here? Just diplomats, because the culture is very much against us. Apparently we're making money. Go in a city, retrain. Yeah. We need to get back to the town first, though. So we need to get back to... Well, I mean, we're going back to Dol Guldur anyway. We need to... It isn't possible to recruit any units at present. Of course it is. Right, we need units. We just need units out on the field. More specifically, I think we need spears. We need some infantry on the go. Can't train anything there just for the moment. Rumil's going to come up here to Rockburg as well. And that'll be that for the time being. Yep. Well, I mean, this Golden Chevron Spear unit, I don't think we can retrain it at Dol Guldur, but that's where it's going. Because we need an army in there to defend it. Look at Anduin here. What are you doing? Oh, they're... Anduin and Khazad-dûm are like having a discussion outside of my town. Or are you going to ask me for something now, my dwarven brethren? I can't afford to retrain the whole army right now, Commander Tech. I'm up against the wall in southern Mirkwood. I need units on the field, and if I retrain all of them, I've got nothing. Unless they are willing to let me sit in Dol Guldur. Look at this. This is a problem as well, honestly, because I was worried initially about Enedwaith being the ones to attack Gondor from the side, but it may actually end up being Isengard. We just need to regroup. Caer Andros is under attack again. Mission fails. Yeah, again, Moria. Construction report. Alliance announced between Ered Luin and... Oh, so Ered Luin have gone for the path of good, which honestly is pretty terrific for us, because Lord knows we needed that. What's going on in here? A garrison of 3. You have no idea what's about to come your way, my friend. Now we're going to see the man himself in action. Hunt the remnants of Dol Guldur with Thranduil and defend against Isengard. Gondor falls equals collapse. Well, I mean, there's nothing I can do about that at the moment. Like, I need to... The best I can do if I need to go up against Isengard is I need to retreat and retrain, because I'm going to accomplish nothing with the current forces I have. And I can't attack into Dol Guldur and go after Isengard at the same time. That just ain't going to happen. It's going to have to be one or the other. Because I don't have the units to be able to attack on 2 fronts to the extent that I need to. Right. Look at this. We're going to see Celeborn do... No, don't... Fire at will. Bloody fire at will. You go over here. You two just go up there to defend him in case they decide to go this way. The time for elves is here. Who needs Gondor anyway? Where was Gondor? Well, Gondor have been doing their thing, to be honest with you. I was going into this campaign expecting Gondor to be struggling right from the outset, but against Mordor and Harad, they've actually done really well. Where was Lothlorien when the Westfold fell? I was in the Westfold when it fell. It was just that I alone was not able to turn the tide. But we're sending forward the big boy now. The best unit we have at our disposal. We may only have the one, but Celeborn himself has come forward. Oh, for crying out loud, there's woodland hunters in there. No, we're not losing Berio eat Engelife at the hands of this filth down here. Look at this. Need to get Ents. Yeah, we do need to get Ents, but this is the settlement we need for Ents. I know that the Berio Yengelith's defensive stats are so good, but I know how Medieval 2 works. Like, you're going to take losses at the hands of even trash like that. Right, and now we can go back over here. You go up this way, actually. You charge in like so. You charge in here. As long as these guys don't bury most of their ammunition into the floor, we should be fine. Volume of fire may prove to be the unfortunate thing here. Anyway, Ents come from Rockburg. Yeah, Ents come from Fangorn apparently, which is this settlement effectively. Shoot them. And that should be that. There we go. Oh, really? Come on, you're supposed to be elves. Use your brains. How is victory a distinct possibility for woodland hunters in melee against elven warriors? Well, we're going to sort that out. Again, we're taking losses here, unnecessary losses in many ways, but there's nothing I can do to prevent this really, which is, again, frustrated. Oh, many times, but at least I knew to look for it. The fact that they were burying most of their arrows into the dirt. Look at that, we've lost almost our entire unit. Like, I question the strength of sellswords, to be honest with you. Their ability to do that to a unit of like elven line infantry is questionable. Like, look at that, 21 of them are still winning that fight over there. We're actually getting rinsed.
Our men have taken control of the city.
Okay, so that was way, way more costly than it should have been. Ugh. It hasn't been my day today at all. It's been, like we've actually contracted in terms of our power throughout this entire stream. And none of this would have happened if Rohan were competent and not useless in every way.
must defend these lands.
We're going to get rid of all the orcs structures as well. We've got to bulldoze that. Slave pit. A free upkeep slot is probably too good to pass up, to be honest with you. Dirt paths. Well, regardless, we need to refresh our armies. You get yourself back into Dol Guldur post haste. Another unit of spearmen, I suppose. We're still building units all over the place. We're going to need to start getting reinforcements over to Dol Guldur so we can actually hold on to the bloody place. As for this, still don't think we have the... we still have a general over here, actually, which is interesting. So if need be, we could obviously move him up. Generals replenish up to 77 units, don't pull him back. Save his unit. He has to get to 77 sometime. Yeah, but like I wasn't going to send him into melee first and foremost. Especially not with how weirdly strong the sellswords are. I'm not going to risk Celeborn dying. That really would be... That would really top everything off in this campaign. If we were to lose Celeborn. Can we build anything here? Just a spy? Yeah, that's no good to us. We can build a leather worker. Okay. Well, we've got our dude.
Yes, my lord.
Isengard here with him. Right, can we... Maybe we can bribe Enedwyth, get them on side.
Without question.
Get them doing something useful. What is this? Look at this man's army, look. I guess this is the like stacks that are spawning to try and save Rohan's hide. Farmhand pikeman. The day is truly saved. Well, the white hand flies over Edoras. All hope down here is lost. Let's just have a little look around. Well, for now, I suppose the only thing we can do is end the turn. Yeah, but I don't trust Medieval 2, Val. Celeborn has like 50 hit points with the traits he has. You never can be sure with this game. You should try to make ceasefire with Isengard. Never. Would they even accept that? Probably not. Well, maybe they would. That just doesn't seem thematically right, though, does it? Please, Saruman, don't kill me. As much as I would like to press eastwards into Dol Guldur, there is also a case for saying that most of the settlements in there aren't actually that important. How about an alliance now, Thranduil? Now that you've got Mirkwood goblins on your doorstep, really? This is how we're moving now, is it?
This is our last stand, my friends.
Are they sieging me down, or are they assaulting me? Oof. This game, man. This game. It has really been something else. They just came out of nowhere. How do they have that much movement through the trees?
The tide of battle seems to have turned against us. We must act and halt this turn of events.
This might be the end, honestly. If we can't win this battle with Celeborn, like, this is our faction leader. He is everything to us. Like, this could be the end of days. Which would be extremely disappointing for the campaign to end this way, just because Isengard are pulling armies out of their ass. Alright, well, this is going to be interesting, isn't it? It all kind of depends on what level of units that we're dealing with. Raiders, archers. This is the thing, that they can just skirmish us. Lorien's armour at the low tier is so poor that we can just be skirmished. And that really has done us in, honestly. Right, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go this way like this. Try and get the Berio Yengalith up on the hillside. Oh. Yeah, okay. Wargs as well. Yeah, this is Rumil is not too far away, so if we can survive this battle we might be fine, but this might be the end, honestly. Because we can't get sat. We're in a really tough spot. Ugh. Yeah, we're just going to be skirmished. Alright, get into the town centre, Celeborn. Well, I mean, this isn't too bad if the AI decides to just throw themselves on my blades. Ooh, hello. Well, I mean, they should get absolutely destroyed, the wargs, in melee against. No, that's not what I want you to do, you fools. Why aren't they fighting? Oh my god. Please, game. Please. Honestly. That should be automatic. It's been automatic in every other case. Literally every time in this campaign when someone's been engaged in melee, they pull out their weapons, except Celeborn's bodyguard. It's like divine intervention is preventing me from doing what I want. It's actually insane. Right, well, I mean, he did the business there at least. Yeah, we're in trouble. We're not going to have time to get up on the hill and shoot them in the side. We're going to have to just do this way. Right. Oof.
Hold your fire. The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
I think this might be asking a bit much of us here. What's going on there? They're routing. Okay, well, good. Go on, route. Okay. Yeah, we're going to need to make more use of our general abilities, to be honest. Thank God for their morale collapsing there. I think I'm due a bit of unbelievable luck, Lango, with how this has gone. Is that the end of all of them? Okay. Let's go out here. That's weird noises coming from the Uruk-hai there. Come on, boys. A little bit more urgency, Celeborn. We're on the verge of collapse, and this is what you're doing? Right. I'm going to drag Saruman out of Orthanc by the beard for what he's done to me.
The enemy army flees the field. The enemy are utterly vanquished.
He'll wish Grima stabbed him in the back by the time I'm done with him. This is personal now. Right. Now then. It's going to be... When I named the stream, actually, I was thinking that it wouldn't have gone this way, but it's still somewhat execute them. It's still very appropriate, though. Maybe Rohan can retake Edoras with their newfound Doom stacks. Probably not, but maybe. Hi, you mad? I'm developing a multiplayer mod for Broken Crescent 2.4, a Middle Eastern mod. I got some replays for you if you'd be interested in downloading it and showing these replays. I've not heard of that before. Moments in Total War when it becomes personal. There's another Isengard army over there. Isengard must be massive if they're all the way over there as well. Have they just, like... What have they done? How have they managed to do this? A Master Bladesmith's Guild. I actually don't want that because we can't build anything in Dol Guldur yet, and I need the money. Away with you. We're decreasing in population. Our lands are in shambles.
Over here, elves.
That is a beefy army, though. That is an army to be proud of. Right. Limhir is complaining again. They've expanded into Enedwaith then, which means Enedwaith actually probably are already doing their thing. Yeah, look at this. How many people are Isengard at war with? Enemies, Dunlandings, Isengard. Okay. Power is supreme. Is it? I question such things. Map information.
It's good to see you.
Right. Okay, good.
Another proposition for us then?
Do you want an alliance?
No, we cannot.
Okay.
And well, that seems
They don't.
Farewell.
Well, this has been illuminating. Right. What should we build? An armory, perhaps? I think that would be in our best interest to give ourselves a bit of a garrison in Rockburg. Elsewhere, Dol Guldur. We need to get our culture up, which means we're going to have to destroy some of these roads, I think. Or not roads, buildings. We're not even building anything in this area at the moment. But close the scroll, spend all your monies. Click yes, and it won't give you a debuff. Islamic World mod for Medieval 2 that takes the map from Greece to India, Central Asia to Southern Arabia. I'd have to have a look at that. Have to take a quick look at that once we're done, I think. Right. Where are we going? Ballista Maker, no. We've got some cav, but I think what we need at the moment is more archers. Archers for days.
For the light.
retrain that unit, and that'll be it for the time being, because I really don't feel comfortable with, because we might need those units. So you go this way as well. One more turn for them. Okay. Well, this has been pretty brutal so far. WK. You're just in time to see the struggle continue. It looks like they're sort of making an offer to Erui, but they're not. They're making offers to one another. So that's how Anduin and Khazad-dûm are sort of doing their thing. How are Gondor going? Maybe with how well Gondor have done so far, because if you actually look, Gondor seem to be taking land on the eastern side of the Anduin, so maybe Gondor are the heroes we all need. Go on, Enedwaith. Do your thing. I think Enedwaith's roster isn't very good though, is it? I think they're definitely outclassed by Isengard in terms of quality of troops. I think we will do, maybe tentatively, another stream tomorrow. There's still a fair amount of time in this one to go, but maybe we could do another one tomorrow. Moria under siege. That's not what I needed to see. Sort yourselves out. Hordes of mountain orcs. Goblinkind has recovered from its severe losses from a century past, and a new king has risen to lead the disparate elements of the Misty Mountains. Their armies have scuttled and crept through the tunnels that eat through the rock itself, and have come down unawares on their enemies. War has been made upon their foes, and the weakness of individuality has been supplemented by the mass flood of anger at those who have hunted the crawling doom that are the Misty Mountains' undisputed owners. Goblins swarm from their holes, burn and hack, leaving the dead to clog river and brook, piling high only to feed the warriors of the mountain fasts. The Misty Mountains expand their dominion. Middle-earth, consequences, ill-fated past, death, unleashed, Middle-earth. Goblins. That's not good. That's poor. Establish diplomatic relations with the Dunlendings. I can actually do that because my emissary is over there anyway. Kaer Andros is under attack again. But yeah, look at this. Like Gondor apparently they own like this spit of land on the eastern side of the Anduin. More worryingly, however, the fact that the goblins have gotten their little event that says they're doing well. No bueno. I can't afford to be dealing with that nonsense as well. You go this way. Maybe just a couple more units of spears. Can we build an armory over here? We can. And we will. 46 coins remain. You, I think, we're actually going to send southwards. We're training men. Yeah, for the time being, this is really all we can do. We're just trying to rebuild.
Yes, my lord. Without question. Tomorrow's journey planned out.
Okay. Where did those Rohan armies go? Oh, here we are. King Theoden the Fearless.
Your attention is an honor, noble ally.
Theoden, I've got to be honest. You've ruined everything. You've caused the downfall of all that is good in Middle Earth. Kuro. Yeah, maybe Bannerlord would be not a bad idea at some stage. Things aren't looking good for Rohan there. They're getting... They're still getting beaten. but it's okay. We can sort them out. WK has successfully asserted dominance. WK doesn't need to assert dominance. He knows he's better. Theoden, he's wearing a troll face. Theoden's got nothing to be smiling about at this point. It was never this bad even in the movies for him, I don't think. Edoras never fell. His nation is in shambles to an extent that has never been seen before. God, look at those armies. It's actually insane. Honestly, it's to the point where it's actually probably in our interest to keep fighting Isengard, because if we don't, they're going to go out of control here, and Gondor will be the ones to pay the price, and then Mordor will start to roll on through, and the dominoes will fall. Now then, what have we got going on here? New family member, recruitment report. Good. And we're still making money.
Yes, my lord.
This way.
My lord. Onward.
You there.
Elves. Come on.
You there. Seeing as we're still making money, we need to make hay while the sun shines.
Swiftly.
And
Vigilant. My lord. Onward.
we probably need to get a move on as well, because if we... What's going on here? What is this? What is this man?
There are many differences our people should resolve.
Isengard diplomat. I'm going to mail your head back to Orthanc in a sack, mate, if you don't leave. What have we got going on? Yep, they're building. We should be retraining a unit. Is such a thing even possible? Perhaps not, because we're not in the right type of settlement. Well, anyway. They will stay as they are.
Warriors.
The fact that we're still making money is good, though. Right. Where are the Dunlandings? They're up and around here, aren't they? Nope, that's Anadwythe.
Yes.
Dunland are like
continue
over
tomorrow.
here, aren't they? So we shouldn't be too far away from them. Right, let's go and see just how bad. Well, that's not. It's not looking good for Theoden, is it? Really, he's surrounded on all sides.
Approaching
Secure in the knowledge that he's certainly going to die a failure.
Gonna stick you.
Saruman, his ultimate victory, draws ever closer. Right. Listen, allies are overrated, is what I've learnt from this. In the future, we just won't bother with allies. Second campaign will be like Ara Dunaim and just be allies with no one. Strike out on our own. Become the scourge of the seas. Blackadder is a top quality show, though. Imladris is besieged. I'll be shocked if Imladris falls. Like, there's one thing that people have always, well, the new versions of Divide and Conquer have always showcased, is that the High Elves are like unmoving. Baeln's Hall is besieged, so that's probably Gundabad.
Elves. Swiftly.
Look at this army we've got going on now there.
Elven warriors. Onward. Yes, my lord. Come on. Elves.
You... Maybe we could do with another unit of archers over here. Actually no, we need as many units down here as it's possible to mass.
My lord. Swiftly.
And then we'll have like a big old force that we can send out. And we've got an armory that's nearly finished. Right, what can we build? We need more. We need more. of everything. What have we got going on here? Public fountains, communal farming. No. Looks like it's going great for the good guys. Well, I mean, great is just a mindset. If we believe it's going well, then it's going well. And that's all there is to it. Ignore the fact that basically every major capital of all of the free peoples of Middle-earth has at some point been under siege. And there is the first crash of the campaign. Wait, hold on a second. Do-do-do. Right. Bear with me. Let's see if we can't get things going once more. We shouldn't have gone offline at the very least. Right, let's load campaign. Yeah. We're not going to lose much progress, which is nice. Canned is actually like a really interesting campaign, I think, just looking at things. If you join the Blue Wizards, it's less interesting if you stay loyal to Sauron, just because all you really have to, the only unique thing about it is you have to deal with a couple of armies that pop up in your land. And also you're so far away from everything that just to add some spice to the campaign, it makes sense, I think, to...
Elven warriors.
Where are we?
Yes, my lord.
Well, that is that. Okay. So I think, yeah, we'd already moved everything. Okay. Go on, Rohan. Win a battle. Arakia said that Khand are going to be made so you can choose to become a true nomadic faction and go all over the place, sort of like the Adunaim. Or you can stay as Khand as it is at the moment. I think, based on what I've heard, like Horde factions are super difficult to get working correctly in Medieval 2. Well, Tancred, I'm effectively just a part of the Reforged community, so it makes sense. Well, didn't crash this time. The old saying, teamwork makes the dream work, hasn't really been applicable in this campaign so far. Impressive performance by Isengard, though, you have to say. Yeah, that makes sense, because if the AI was placed in charge of a horde and they were just roaming around, they'd get eviscerated, I think. Ooh, the One Ring has been located. It's in Khan Doom. Is that not a sign that all is lost already? Because, I mean, if the One Ring was in Khan Doom, the Witch King would just hop on over and pick it up for his master, surely. Or maybe he'd try and keep it for himself. maybe that would be what he does. Right,
For
you.
the light. Yes, my lord. Swiftly.
Okay.
For the light. Onward.
Is that going to be enough to hold, I wonder? If we send a general over there, I suppose it could be.
Swiftly.
Unit of swordsmen. Ooh, actually, that's a good point. Hold on a second. I need to save it. I need to turn up the brightness because it's... crashing meant that my settings reverted back to what I use as the base for recording under normal circumstances. Which is not what we want. Expanding Helm's Deep. Expanding Helm's Deep would be pretty difficult, to be honest with you, because it is the exact layout. The only thing you could really do is add an indoor section. Because just making the map chunkier doesn't really change it, really. It just means you can fit more in it, but the whole appeal of Helm's Deep really is that it's like closed in a bit.
For the light. Yes, my lord. For the
We've already
light.
moved everything, I think. About to complete an armory there. Right, what can we actually build elsewhere? Can we build some good stuff? Oh, hold on a moment. Need to turn down that music as well before WB comes to claim my head. Right, we can build stuff in Carascaladon now. In fact, we can build some good stuff in Carascaladon now. What's this? Culture. Building income. Free upkeep units. Public order bonus to law. Enables training of another unit of Elbereth Sentinels. A fairground. Yeah, you know what? That seems like a good idea. If you set tax rate to the lowest on all your towns, then in the long run you'll have more money as you increase population more quickly. Yeah, but we can't afford to really think long term at this stage. Hey look, there's Saruman. He's here. He has arrived. Some victories there for Rohan, but I don't think it's going to matter too much when there's a force like that. Why would you do that? Why would you... I really don't understand. I don't understand what Rohan was thinking there, because they attacked Saruman's army, didn't they? And they're in shambles. There's no way they're going to be able to take him head on. Why would anyone dislike this live stream? Well, I mean, you know, it's always good to have varying opinions. Are Khazad-dûm trying to offer me a proposal and they're just like, it's just not registering each turn? Is that what's happening here? Because it looks as though they're trying to engage with Erui, but they're sort of failing. Yeah, it might be worth my while to honestly, the Lord of Dol Guldur is dead again. Okay, so surely that's the last of Dol Guldur's 3 Nazgul that are dead now. Surely. Right. Yeah, it might be worth my while to actually save up some money so that we can purchase some really fine unit. Ooh.
I'm gonna stick you.
Yes, my lord. Come on.
What is that?
Taste of my blade.
Is it worth my while to try and hunt them down? I mean, if they attack this settlement, then I guess maybe it is, but at that point I can be more defensive anyway. But a unit of... an army of 3 is not... That's beneath me. There's no need to worry about that. As for over here, though, some cav definitely wouldn't go amiss. Maybe if I... yeah, the barracks event is actually next turn, so let's... isn't that accurate? I think it is. Their opinions are valid, just very wrong. Actually,
Speak to our dignitaries. I am but an ally. Have a taste of my blade.
I mean, that's not a massive army, is it? Like, I think what we're doing, what the play here is to build this army up just a bit more until we've got basically a full stack, and then we roll and we just crush all in our path. Celeborn himself. We're bringing out the big guns. Why didn't the elves breed like Feanor? Well, I mean, it's a good point. Apparently the elves aren't really into it. Like, they're not really feeling it. Right, what's this?
I'm gonna stick you. I'm gonna
Ooh.
stick you.
Well, I mean, this army's... I mean, there's... What are we going to do with ourselves? Right, we got to establish diplomatic ties with Dunland.
Without question.
What is this?
What
Dunland.
is it you wish to discuss?
Trade rights?
It's good to see we could
Good.
reach an agreement. Very well. Good day to you.
Bit of money. Path blocked. I mean, it's a little bit disingenuous, but to be honest with you, Rohan have been so poor that they had it coming. If I've got to make friends with their sworn enemies, so be it. As for everything else, let's just...
Approaching.
Again, there's a lot of Rohan armies around here. If they get their act together, they could finish Saruman off. Super impressed with the devs in this game, honestly. Never seen such quality. Can merge your depleted units. Yeah, I know you can. I can merge depleted units. I'm just... How does one do that again?
My lord.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's it.
Elven warriors.
Here we go. I've been meaning to do that for a little while, actually, but only now do we get around to it.
Elves.
There we go. Looks like things are stabilising. To an extent, yeah, but we're still... It's still a little bit dodgy at the moment. We're still in a situation that could turn on us pretty quickly, but I mean, if we can get a nice army going down here, we can march all the way to Orthanc and conquer it. And then we should have all of the economy base we need to just go out and do the business. Okay, I'm going to save it as well, because every time it crashes, like it always makes me, it always puts me on edge a little bit. Yeah, I know I can merge the Gurthinen, but I don't want to, because if I keep two smaller units of them, they can rear-charge someone and cause the morale shocks. Because that's honestly their best feature, the fact that they do morale damage to the enemies that they attack. Which is still going to be very useful. Here we go, boys. Is this going to be barracks event time? Are we going to be able to start wheeling out the heavy artillery? Dol Guldur didn't come forth and try to reclaim their capital. Someone else is attacking them, though, if their third and final Nazgul ended up dying. Which I'm all too happy to see. It means someone is pulling their weight, I just don't know who it is. It can't be the Anduin. I highly doubt it's the Anduin. Right. Did the barracks event fire? No, it didn't. When exactly is the barracks event? Is it turn 60 or is it like any time past turn 60? Right. What have we got here? Do we want to go after him? We don't know what he's got in his army, which is a little bit frustrating. I mean, we've got an armory in here, so we can just sit here for as long as we need, actually, because we've got a garrison. So, quite frankly, he's made a mistake. He's overplayed his hand. It's most likely Dale. They're the ones who really deal with Dol Guldur. Yeah, I was thinking it's Dale, because Thranduil hasn't done much of anything.
Yes, my lord.
Dale seems to be... I mean, we could go and have a little look. Right, sod it.
What is it you wish to discuss?
Actually, no.
Good day to you.
We don't want an alliance with Thranduil yet, because we're actually not prepared to deal with a doomstacking Karas Galadhon, so we will ignore that for now. Right.
Yes, my lord.
Let's go this way.
Yes.
That is, I think,
Without question.
Dunland's
Stopping
capital.
here.
Looks like there's a lot of... Looks like there's a big mess over there. I'm going to start heading up towards Imladris, I think. Try and get a bit of a trade deal going on with them. Surely they will say yes. How could they refuse? Right, nothing there. Let's get some cav out. Let's do it. And over here, let's get another unit of Gurthinen. Communal farming, perhaps? Why not? We're actually losing growth in Lim here as well, so it's probably a good idea to actually do such things. Nearly every 2 turns, Thranduil sends an army to the south. Go on, Rohan. You can do it. I believe in you. Gondor and Angmar. Maybe we'll do that at the start of the next stream. We'll do the FOW cheat and we'll just have a quick look at the state of the world. Because I'm interested to see, because based on Khand making peace with Gondor early in the campaign and then them losing their capital, I assume they took the good route. Which might be why Gondor's honestly done quite well, because it's quite a delicate balance. Under normal circumstances, they have to face Mordor, Harad, and Khand, and potentially the Aradunaim as well. Whereas on this occasion, they haven't had to fight Khand, which may be why they've held up so well. Great tidings, my lord. Our armories and supply lines now operating at full capacity. The barracks event. Good. Western Moria besieged, so Khazad-dûm and Moria are just going back and forth. They want me to establish diplomatic ties with the Goblins of Moria again. Bizarre. Right, anyway. Let's have a look. So, no, right. We need to... Well, we're building stuff there. He's just hanging out, chilling. Is it worth me bringing Rumil along in our excursion to the south? Because I honestly think, like, it now...
I would fight for your people as if they were my own, friend.
Now is a good time, I think, to head south, because the wind is in Rohan's sails a little bit. We have an armory in Rockburg. We're going to lose money. Like, we're going to lose a lot of... Well, I'd say that. We're not going to lose that much money, I don't think.
Yes, my lord.
No, let's go. Let's do it. Yeah, we're not losing that much money. We're heading south with this army. Because I think it's kind of... We need to help them out now, because otherwise... We could go south and try and take Edoras. We need to build the upper tier barracks to get the elite units. Yes, but we're still building We're still building buildings in the areas where we could build the upper tier barracks. So we're gonna have to wait. Like, I'm not like, it's only 2 turns until we get the fairground. So yes, here.
My lord. Yes.
Austin Athiel, Enedwyth diplomat.
As you wish. Tomorrow's journey planned out.
I think that's all we can really do for now. Yeah. You need to do quick and decisive battles. Wait, are you at war with Rohan? No, I'm not rival. I'm taking Edoras because Edoras has already fallen to Isengard. Hello, Alisan. Or I could instead not bother going for Edoras and instead make a beeline for Orthanc. Try and take that. Because Orthanc, while Edoras is the sort of thing I probably would give back to Rohan, just so they have something to get back on their feet. Taking Orthanc is something that I would be willing to keep for myself. And that would be a nice... it would also be sort of a nice little stronghold over there. There's Isengard stuff. But yes, we do need to start doing something against Isengard, I would agree. Because we still have Rohan to help us out. Elite pikes, bit of a concern, yeah. But I mean, that's the sort of thing that I would want to try and kite, if it's all possible. Caer Andros under siege. But that's that. They're just sort of hanging out there. Dol Guldur. We're just one turn away from that stuff. Can we build something which increases public order? Honestly, it might be worth building an artist studio so that we...
By the light of Elbereth!
By the light of Elbereth. Right, we're going to go slowly.
Here, elves! Scout the area! Onward!
What's going on there? That's a fairly big army, but I mean, a fairly big army isn't really going to cut the mustard, I think, against an army that's actually got some girth behind it like ours now. And Rohan, I think, are heading back south to try and do their thing. If we can take this settlement here, it might become a bit of a lightning rod for them. Okay.
Your orders. Without question. Stopping here.
Goblins. Okay. Okay then. Orthanc, then go for the Heart of Isengard. I mean, Orthanc is the Heart of Isengard, really. Dax seems to love to pump its armor values way too high compared to Reforged, to be honest. That's true, but in comparison to Reforged, there's like very little that has got multiple HP in Divide and Conquer, so it's a trade-off. Hit points are one of those things that would be quite hard to balance in a situation like this as well, because if you, in a campaign, have got loads of units that have got multiple HP, you can very quickly become a juggernaut, really. I mean, it's true in Divide and Conquer as well. Especially when you're like the High Elves or something, by the time you get to the end game. Yeah, the Gurvaleg, definitely another kind of unit that I want to get. Split shot projectiles and body piercing. That's a truly hellish combination when you think about it, but bodyguard units are not that powerful. Fenris Druin assaulted. Yeah, the Northern Dunedain are still doing their thing. What's this? Yeah, just try it, mate. Over here. Right, we need the upper tier barracks, which will give us Yavanna's Chosen, which is our like Phalanx unit, and the Sentinels of Kerin Amroth. Or we can go for the archery range, which gives us the Gurvaleg and the Lorien March Wardens. Of the two, I'd be much more tempted by the archery range, to be honest, because that's, I mean, that's what we're all about, isn't it? You go this way, because we're going to send you over somewhere. Right, let's just slowly go forwards. Right, you have a little look over here.
I'm gonna stick you.
Saruman's in there. My. My old friend. How are you doing?
Scatter them. Put them down.
Oh dear. This is a bit of a sticky situation for you, isn't it, my friend? Ah yes, the graphics are still in my old setting, so unfortunately it's not shader version. This is the sort of the base that I use, that I apply reshade on top of, so yeah, I forgot to turn all those back, but no matter. This is probably going to be the last battle of the stream, to be honest with you, because I think I'm going to do another one tomorrow. Right, anyway, let's get all of our archers into a nice clump, because we're about to We're about to do some... it's not going to be pretty for Saruman, unfortunately. Multiple HP units don't exist in DAC, except in Berserkers and Trolls. Yeah, it's necessary for stuff like Berserkers and Trolls, though, because they'd be useless if not for that. Right. Anyway.
This is the way. Hold your fire. Launch the attack. Ready,
Hello there. Where's Saruman? Ha, there he is. I see you. Guard of the hand. Nasty looking crossbows, but it's not going to help you, mate, is it? Skin changes. Yeah, skin changes I think are like... They have not very many unit models, do they? Any unit that doesn't have that many unit models, you're going to need multiple HP to make it worth your while building them in the first place. Trollman? There are half trolls as well, aren't there, for Gundabad, I believe. Which are sort of Berserker style units, aren't they? I think. This is gonna be glorious. Rohan have actually redeemed themselves then. They must have done something worthwhile. Because Isengard all of a sudden look as though they overextended themselves a bit. Unfortunately, we are here to take advantage of that. This is a filthy army as well. Yeah. Shoot the Regroupers. Armor-piercing arrows as well, I believe, on the Berioti Engolith, so this should be not too bad for the archers. They can start moving forward as well, just in case he decides to come out of the settlement. Knock knock. Just wait there for the time being. It's only a concern if he decides to come outside. If so, we'll jump on him. Look at this. This is the type of content I like to see. Oh, are they firing? Nope, they're not. They're getting shot though. Which is good. Shoot there. Actually, the March Wardens can shoot at the Reavers as well. Let's get Caliborn over here, get him a bit of a better angle.
The gates are down.
There we go. Yeah, Nazgul, we've already encountered Nazgul in this campaign. Who'd have thought that Saruman would be so careless? Where is he? There he is. Look at this man. Ooh, hello. They're actually firing back, are they? They can't do that. Unacceptable behaviour. Last thing we need is Caliborn getting one right between the eyes. But he should be okay if we move him over here like so. Oh no, it's actually the March Wardens he's going after. The cheek. The absolute cheek of it. them.
The enemy are badly bloodied.
And there we go.
They have lost half their men.
What are your plans after you defeat Isengard? Defeat Dol Guldur. Because I think we're going to have to break the back of Isengard before we... Because Dol Guldur, they have the problem that they have enemies all around them, whereas Isengard, they seem to have established themselves quite well. Which, naturally, we cannot accept. So I think we're going to need to go and get Orthanc. We don't even necessarily need to kill Isengard completely, just get them into a position where we can just... Who has the better archers, Lorien or the Woodland Realm? I think in terms of damage it's the Woodland Realm. But I would argue, based on having a look at both of the like bodyguard tier units that Celeborn and Thranduil have, I think I prefer Celeborn's because of their utility in melee. Like the fact that they're like super heavy spears is really, really useful, honestly, as we've already seen actually. These are tanky boys, though. They're not going down without a fight. In fact, they're not going down without a fight to the extent that I think what we're going to do is just get all of our archers into a nice position over here. That's a lot of range that Rumil has, even for an Elven archer. Do you need to kill Dol Guldur completely to send the Nazgul back to Mordor? No, I think the way that it works is, as long as you take Dol Guldur's capital, their Nazgul can't respawn, because Karmul didn't respawn, and nor did the other gentleman we killed. It's all about angles. These dudes are very tanky, aren't they? I mean, I know that we don't have the best of shots, but it's a lot of damage they should be taking. Yeah, I think that's how I would probably try and go after Mordor, because I think, to be honest with you, by the time we've dealt with Isengard and Dol Guldur in the way that we've gotten ourselves into the situation here, I think I would much prefer to try and grab the ring and tossing it into the volcano, to be honest. I think that would be the best way to go about things. Okay. Just get ready to go in. Yeah, well, I assume like most of the like big names have got special bodyguards, just like we have with Celeborn. And armour should definitely be the sort of thing that Isengard excel in, really. Like, look at these boys.
We've captured the enemy's walls.
I thought I said we captured their general then. I was like, how on earth did we manage that? Right. Let's get in there with Celeborn as well, I think, actually. Now then, get some strike infantry in there. Hopefully we can get Celeborn involved. It's good to see Celeborn out and about.
We will smash the enemy.
That'll stop them from shooting. Last thing we need is Rumil catching a stray bolt to the forehead. What's your dog's name? We got two. One's called Wesley and one's called Maisie. The former is the one that you'll often hear barking in the background. That's the noisy one. Right, what have we got going on back there? Right, enough of this nonsense. Into melee with Celeborn. And we'll start to... this should be the end of them, to be honest with you. I mean, they're up against what is effectively a wall, having to deal with some pretty high damage troops. A real gift, though, that Saruman has bestowed upon us. Killing off Sauron. I think we're going to do that by throwing the ring into Mount Doom. Otherwise, by the time we're invading Mordor, chances are we'll have a force that will be able to defeat him. Let him escape. No. No. We're not taking that chance. This is where he dies. What have you got going? You've got no special ability, Rumil. Look at this. Look, they are. I mean, you got to give them credit. They're fighting hard, but you know they're dying now. There's only 11 of them remaining. And this will be the end.
Our men are in command of the castle.
A stream that has been a real struggle. It must be said. We've not made any sort of progress in terms of our land. We built up our settlements, but in terms of expansion, that's all we've really been able to do. Look, there he goes. He's the only one left. Oh, look at this. He's the only one. Being chased by an angry horde of elves.
Our men no longer command the castle.
Look at this man. I mean, he's still confident. And there he goes.
Dead. Let them be awed by the victory we have won here today.
52 elves lost, more than worth it for ridding the world of Saruman. That's a real gift, though. Wonder if Lurtz is still around. He's the other Isengard general, and I think they have like a generic one as well they start with. The Lord of Isengard is dead.
We must defend these lands.
Perfect.
Guard this area.
Occupy that. We want to occupy it and give it back to 2,106. That's not a bad... I might even keep this. Might even keep that settlement. That's not a bad chunk of... It's nearly as much as Karos Galadhon. Damn. Alrighty. Well, I think there's not really much else we can do. I mean, there's these guys over here, which... for Haldir... Apparently retraining this guy didn't really do
Elven warriors.
much of anything. All it did was give us access to the blacksmith upgrades, because we don't have the ability to train units yet, I suppose, so that turned out to be a bit of a waste, but no matter. Elsewhere, I think we do need to start, or continue to pump out units, to be honest,
Come on, elves.
and get them over to Dol Guldur. As for over here, we're making money, so I think we'll make another one of these guys, to be honest with you. I really like them just because of their morale shocking. It's really good. Anyway, I think with that, we don't really have anything else we can do on this turn, except I'm going to make sure we've done everything on this turn.
Yes. Tomorrow's
Look at this,
journey
look.
planned out.
So we're going to make it to Imladris next term, and we should be and we should be able to get some good diplomatic relations going. Over here, let's move our spy just to see what we got there. That's not a terribly big army, nor is that, to be honest. Combined together, they could prove to be a bit of a problem, but honestly not for an army that includes Celeborn, Rumil, and all of the units we have at our disposal. I think we might be good. There's always Helm's Deep to be worried about, but we're in a good place. I think we have managed to sort of stabilise ourselves. We have a nice castle, which, you know, we're effectively a shield for Rohan at this point. Like, Rohan, hopefully they should be able to get Edoras on their own, because I want to continue this way and start munching Isengard's territory up. Other than that, though, that is that. I think we will save it here. But honestly, I think we can do another stream tomorrow. I'll sort of post up a message, I think, later on when I think the stream tomorrow will take place. But I think it'll probably be around the same time, to be honest with you. I think it'll probably be from anywhere from 2:30 to 3 PM GMT. Just because it's the best time. Like, if I start the streams around this time, you start to head into peak internet time, and it becomes a little bit less reliable, which is a concern. Because it's one thing for the game to crash, because I can just start it up again and seamlessly the stream can continue like it did today. But if the internet crashes, obviously the stream dies and I have to restart it, and it becomes a little bit messy. But yeah, I think that will be... I think that's the plan, because tomorrow, in a stream of a similar length, I think we could probably break the back of the campaign, or we could ruin everything. And that's where all the entertainment lies, really, isn't it? So yeah. Tomorrow, I think we will continue our escapades towards the west, primarily, to try and go after Isengard, because Isengard, honestly, are more of a threat, I think, than Dol Guldur, because I think Dale are really doing us a solid, whereas down here, Rohan have been less impressive, but we should be alright now, I think. We should be alright. So yeah, like I said, should be another stream tomorrow, and also there will be a video over the weekend of one of the battles inspired by a real historical battle that's played through the lens of Reforged. There will be another one of those. I can't remember what the name of the battle is. I think Farlassus. I think that's the one that's first, which is a sort of battle between the Caesareans and the Pompeians, obviously, but it's actually Numenor and Umbar. So yeah, I think that will be that's sort of the plan for the next few days. That'll be sort of rounding out the week, and then next week the cycle will all start again. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining me on this bumpy road today, but I think the worst of it has passed. I think the remainder of the Lothlorien campaign we should be able to dust ourselves off, and now that Celeborn is on the front line, maybe we can start doing things properly, and Isengard can be well and truly put to bed. At least that's the plan. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, everyone, and I hope you'll join me for whatever is next.